Alright everyone, welcome back to my kitchen for another crock pot recipe. Today we are going to be doing roast in the crock pot, and let me tell you, this is my absolute favorite way to make roast. I grew up loving roast for Sunday dinner. When my mama would make roast, like, it was a good day. It was a day that I would remember. And she would do hers in either the pressure cooker or in the oven, and it was so tender and so delicious. And I have yet to replicate that in the oven. I can do it in the pressure cooker, and I may bring you along for that one day. But before I had one, I did it in a crock pot. And then I could replicate the tenderness, the juiciness, the flavor of her doing it in the oven. And I did it in a slow cooker. And when you do it this way, you can start it up in the morning before you go to work, or before you start your day. And then by dinner time, you have a delicious meal ready and waiting for you. So let's get started, and I will show you how I do it. Now, if you don't have all the ingredients that I'm going to be putting in, which are only a couple, but if all you have is salt and pepper, just liberal salt and pepper this bad boy, and then it'll be delicious. I promise you. You do not need the extras if you do not have them. I have done it many times, only having one of these out of my freezer and salt and pepper. And you do the salt and pepper and then you slow roast it. It doesn't matter if it's the cheapest cut of meat. It is going to be delicious and mouth-watering. I can promise you that. Because I buy what's on sale. I mean, I buy good quality, but I buy what's on sale. So if it's the cheap cut, I'm going to stock up on the cheap cut. Because quite honestly, we enjoy it just as much, if not better, than the more expensive cuts of roast, because when you slow cook it, you're making it tender anyway. And then the marbling, it just makes the best flavor. I could go on and on about roast, but enough about that. Let's get started. So to this, we are going to add a cup of water, and I'm just eyeballing it. I'm using my coffee cup. My clean coffee cup, but my coffee cup of water, and then I'm going to add, because we'll use leftovers as sandwiches, so I had 2 little bitty onions, so I'm just sticking them around my roast. And then since the husband's not home, I'm putting a half a pound of mushrooms in, 8 ounces, just sliced, and I'm just putting them all around and over top. It gives it such a great flavor, and my husband likes the flavor, he just doesn't like mushrooms, the texture. So get those going around and let them cook with it. And then I have some baby carrots. Some of these I'm going to cook and glaze them in the oven, but I also want some of the carrot flavor in my broth. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, the reason I am making roast today is because I made the most delicious rolls last night, and now I want roast to go with my rolls. I finally perfected my grandmother's roll recipe. Only took 8 years and many failed attempts of my husband having to eat dense or flat rolls. Last night I tweaked a recipe that I had found, and they came out beautiful. I mean, beautiful. If you want to see that recipe, let me know, because I made it into rolls and I made it into a loaf, and it is by far the most delicious rolls I've ever tasted. Definitely right with my grandmother's now, so I'm happy.
I'm going to keep a watch on the baby, but another one, except the one on the blanket, and another one off of the blanket way.
Okay. So, to this, we're going to add pepper. And I'm going to add a lot because I like pepper. I like it to have that kick. And the little crust that it'll make. So that And then salt, and be liberal with your salt, guys. I know that it's scary and you think you're going to oversalt. You won't. It's going to help with the vegetables, and it's going to help tenderize your meat. All it does is give it flavor. It is not going to turn out super salty. But kitchen tip, if you have something that's too salty, that ends up in the end too salty, like soup or stew or broth, cut a potato and stick the potato in there. Like, just cut it in half and then stick both pieces in there and let it sit in the warm broth or soup or whatever, and it'll soak up that salt. I'm telling you, a potato. Okay, and then our last ingredient is just some garlic powder. I'm just full of information today, guys. I'm feeling the need to share. So that is it. I have my crock pot on high. Stick your lid on, and then we are going to let this go for probably 4 hours. Is probably how long it'll take. I think it's a 3.5 pound. Alright guys, here is the finished product. It has been 4 hours, and this is fork tender. And oh, it is so good. I put some over here. I gotta keep this one for my husband. Over here, I have a piece that I cut off. And you can see how tender this is. Excuse me. And it is, oh so good. Piece of fat. Look at that. Perfectly done. Tender, juicy. And so flavorful. It'll go great with dinner tonight with my glazed carrots, pesto roasted potatoes, and then my homemade rolls that I talked about earlier. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Try it out for yourself for a quick and easy meal that takes little to no effort on your part. I hope to see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.